FORA.tv. The world is thinking.
Another effect of population size is its effect on genetic diversity. The fewer individuals there are, the fewer genotypes there are. Genetic diversity is a toolkit. It's kind of what you get when you go into the future. It's a really interesting phenomenon because not only does genetic diversity tell you what your population has gone through in the past, but it's also the only toolkit you get to respond to whatever climate or the environment throws into your future. And as this species, this is a northern pocket gopher, this is data from Yellowstone Park, this is 3,000 years ago to the present. As we hit the medieval warm period, pocket gophers decline. They don't like dry, arid environments. They live underground, they're subterranean rodents. It's really hard for them to dig through essentially concrete. And they take a nosedive in in the numbers of individuals. So we're able to get these population estimates directly from bones. But importantly, we can also extract DNA from the bones, and independent of the number of specimens we have, we can actually ascertain genetic diversity. And not only does the population size decline in gophers during the swarm event, the genetic diversity of the species does too. This is happening today. This hasn't been studied very well yet, but here's an excellent example of a genetic response to warming that's actually going in a slightly different direction. This is the red squirrel from Canada. It's from the Yukon. And as the temperatures have warmed, and this is from 1989 to 1998, only 9 years, as temperatures have warmed, the number of spruce cones has increased in this area in Yukon. And as the number of spruce cones have increased, the date at which these red squirrels actually give birth has decreased by 20 days. They're giving birth 20 days earlier than they used to because of the food. So this shows you the interplay of how warming affects a food resource, which in turn affects birthing time. This means that red squirrels can have more births, and they actually have a population increase in response to the increased prevalence of food. Another way that animals respond to warming, in particular, is they generally show a reduction in body size. This isn't always the case, but this is something known as Birdmans Rule. Birdmans Rule is an increase in body size with cooler temperatures, and so individuals from a species, so populations in a species, as you move closer to the poles, tend to be larger than those same species populations closer to the equator. And what the counter to this is as the temperatures get warmer, the individuals get smaller. This used to be thought of as a separate species. This is Bison latifrons. It has a very different horn core, very broad, wide horns, and this is an extinct bison, and this is a modern bison, the American bison or bison. We now know these are essentially the same species. Genetics has showed us that they're the same species, but they've showed a pretty large size decrease coincident with warming.